So the next one that a lot of people ask about is white rice over brown rice. Does it make a difference to your weight loss? Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Stasia and I'm following an oil-free, high-carb, low-fat, plant-based diet based on the recommendations of Dr. John McDougall's book called The Starch Solution. My channel is all about following a high-carb, low-fat, plant-based lifestyle for both health and weight loss, as well as sharing my personal journey and helping you with yours. So if it's your first time here, be sure to check out all of my What I Eat in a Day videos. I have tons of recipes for this lifestyle, as well as if you're on Facebook, I have an amazing Facebook group with over 2,000 members where we share our struggles, we ask our questions, we share recipes. So if you'd like a little bit more guidance in this way of eating, then be sure to check out my Facebook group. I will leave the link in the description box below. And on a side note, guys, I apologize for the terrible quality of the audio on this video. I sat down to film, plugged in my microphone, and it decided it was not going to work for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and push forward with the video anyways, and hopefully I will have a new microphone in for my next video. With that being said, the microphone on my phone is going to pick up all sounds, so if you hear my children in the background, I also apologize for that. And one last thing, I just want to say thank you to all of you who have supported my channel, who are subscribed to my channel, as I just recently hit 10K subscribers, guys. I did that in 8 months. All of this journey has been completely unexpected. I had no idea what I was doing getting on YouTube. So the fact that I've grown that quickly in a very short period of time, I'm on no other platform other than YouTube. So all of this has been strictly organic growth on YouTube. So I couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you so much for following along my journey, and I just hope that my channel has been helpful and that you continue to hang in there with me. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. All right, enough chit chat. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk weight loss. So as we all know, following an oil-free, whole food, plant-based diet, basically if you stick to your non-starchy vegetables, your starchy vegetables, your grains, your beans, and there's absolutely no oil, then if you stick with those foods, weight loss is sure to happen at some point. But is it possible that there's some foods within those categories that can actually help you with your weight loss even more? Well, some people seem to think so. So I wanted to chat about that today. So I posted a question a little while back in my Facebook group, and I asked the members in there if they have more success losing weight eating mostly potatoes or mostly rice. And the response was pretty big. The answer was that most people lost more weight when they ate potatoes as their main starch rather than rice. Well, why could that be? Potatoes are a very versatile food, so probably off the top of my head, I could think of maybe like 5 to 10 different ways that they can be prepared. So they can be used in a lot of different types of dishes. Also, potatoes are ranked the #1 satiating food in the world. So that could have something else to do with it. And lastly, rice is more calorically dense. So if you're eating the same amount of rice as you are potatoes, then there are going to be more calories you're consuming eating the rice. However, there were some people in there that said they had more success losing weight when they ate rice as their main starch over potatoes. So it just goes to show that health and weight loss is not always a one-size-fits-all. As far as I go, I'm gonna go with potatoes. I am definitely a potato girl over rice. But I'm very curious to see how you guys feel about this rice versus potato debate for weight loss. So be sure to drop that in the comments below and let me know, what do you have better success with, eating rice or potatoes as your main starch? It will certainly help other people reading the comments, as well as I'm curious in knowing too. Okay, so the next one that a lot of people ask about is white rice over brown rice. Does it make a difference to your weight loss? So the answer is kind of yes and no, and here's why. So from a caloric standpoint, there's probably not too much difference as far as eating white rice or brown rice. But when losing weight, there's some more factors to consider than just calories alone. So when we talk about eating brown rice, there are some advantages that can actually help you speed up your weight loss over eating white rice. When you eat brown rice, the fiber is still intact. there's actually 4 times the amount of fiber in brown rice than there is white rice. Okay, so why does that matter, and how does that affect our weight loss? Well, when you consume any food that's higher in fiber, it's going to keep you fuller for longer. So for example, let's take 1 to 2 cups of white rice versus 1 to 2 cups of brown rice. So after eating the white rice meal, maybe it's only about an hour to an hour and a half or so when you start kind of feeling hungry again. And when you're hungry, that means you're either going to eat another meal or it means that you're going to be reaching for some kind of snack. Versus eating the brown rice, maybe that's going to carry you for maybe 3 to 4 hours before you feel hungry again. So it's going to curb the urge to snack as well as carry you to your next meal. So I'm going to have to give it to brown rice for being better for weight loss, just on those reasons alone. And I know, for some of us, brown rice just does not taste as good as white rice. So I have a couple of suggestions for you guys to try to include some more brown rice into your diet. And one of them would be cook it in some veggie broth. It just gives it a little bit more flavor than when you cook it with water. So definitely give that one a try. Another thing that you can do is you can do a 50-50 plate with your rice. So if you're just trying to transition yourself or your family into eating a little bit more brown rice, then maybe do half white rice mixed in with half brown rice and see if that might help you transition to eating a little bit more brown rice. And don't be bland. Don't be afraid to spice it up with your favorite spices. Add some sauteed onions and garlic. Add your favorite sauces on top, a little bit of soy sauce. If you add some of your favorite things to the brown rice, then it might actually help you enjoy the brown rice a little bit more. And to all my Instant Pot brothers and sisters out there, for those of you who have been following me, you know how long it took me to actually jump on that train. I was just scared of the whole exploding thing that was happening with the Instant Pots, but I am so happy I did. I use that machine for everything now, including brown rice. So I definitely encourage you to try cooking the brown rice in an Instant Pot. I swear it makes it so fluffy and chewy, very similar to almost a white rice kind of texture. So give it a try. So those are my suggestions to try to get some more brown rice in your diet if you don't particularly love it. All right, so the next one, potatoes versus beans. Which one is better for weight loss? Now, you guys might be surprised to hear what my personal opinion is on this one, and I'm definitely interested in hearing yours. So again, do not forget to leave it in the comments because this one is the great debate as far as I'm concerned. Now, I know in the whole food plant-based community, all we hear about is potatoes. Potatoes, 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 potatoes. Everybody eats potatoes and they swear by them. But I'm going to challenge you guys on this one. I'm saying beans. Yep, don't shoot me, but I'm saying beans. Yes, beans are more calorically dense than potatoes, but there will never be a day in my life that I can ever overeat beans. But I can't say the same for potatoes. I mean, you put a plate of potatoes, the air fried French fries on the table right now, as hungry as I am in this current moment, I'm clearing that plate easily. But I would never be able to eat a full plate of beans. It's just not happening. So as far as the difference between the caloric density between the two, that part doesn't concern me at all because pound for pound, literally, there's a huge difference in the volume between the two, and you would just never need to eat as many beans as you would potatoes. Well, at least I wouldn't. Beans are incredibly nutrient dense. They are full of fiber, they are full of antioxidants, full of cancer protecting properties. They are a main staple in many cultures for a reason. And those are just nutritional brownie points that beans get. Let's talk about weight loss. Did you know that beans have been actually proven to reduce food cravings? I should have fact checked this before I sat down to make the video, but like a week or two ago, I was watching a video again on the exam room and some doctor was being interviewed speaking about eating high fiber foods, and she was just going on about how amazing beans are for our health and how basically we should be consuming them every single day. I will find the video and I will link that below in my description box, but it was incredible listening to all the benefits of beans. And she specifically talks about how beans can reduce food cravings. And when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense to me. She was speaking to my heart, because since I've been consuming beans, literally I've been trying to consume them 1 to 2 times a day, but minimum once a day. That is a side effect that I personally noticed. So when I heard her say that, I was like, yes, that's what I've been experiencing. So this is something I've been actually really excited to share with you guys, because it is really changing things for me. As most of you know who follow me, I love my sugar. Well, I loved my sugar, still dealing with it and trying to, get through my sugar cravings at times. But since I've been eating beans, I cannot say it loud enough. It is curbing those sugar cravings. It's been crazy. Like, I could even think about something that I want to eat that's, sugary, sweet, whatever. But if I've had beans, I'm like, I don't really care to have it. I don't want it. So it is literally changing my life consuming these beans. So that has been my personal experience with it. And then clearly there's also some science to back that up. And another amazing side effect of eating beans for weight loss is they make you go to the washroom all the time, which is amazing for a flat stomach. So I just feel like eating all of these beans are really helping my stomach to slim down. Like, I really, really feel and notice a difference right now. So I cannot stress it enough. I know for some of you, beans are maybe not something you can tolerate that well. They are certainly something that you might have to work yourself up to. I'm at the point that I can eat beans and I don't even experience gas from eating them anymore. So I might be considered one of the lucky ones in that way, and maybe that's why I can eat them as much as I do. But for those of you who have been following me and you know that a few years ago, I had battled with a very strange illness. If I had even looked at a bean, I'm not kidding you, I might have been bloated and sick for 2 weeks. Like, it was crazy. So beans were certainly not something I could tolerate. So I do understand that there are some people that your gut flora can just not tolerate a large amount of beans. However, it is something, like I said, you can work up to. So just start by incorporating a little bit into your diet, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then you'll get to the point that your stomach can tolerate it. So as you guys can see, I'm pretty passionate about beans for weight loss. So I know it's not the most popular vote, but I'm giving this one to beans. So let me know below what you think about it. So this last one is probably a no-brainer for most of you following an oil-free, whole food, plant-based diet, but it might be an eye-opener for people that might be new to a whole food, plant-based diet. Either way, a visual is always helpful. So the next one is oil versus almost any food. Now, I'm not going to get into all the reasons about why it's unhealthy to consume oil in our diet. I will let all of our favorite plant-based doctors explain that one to you. But I'm going to show you why not consuming oil is helpful to our weight loss goals. So on my table here, I have actually measured out 1 tablespoon of oil. So there's about 120 calories in this tiny amount of oil. Tiny, guys, tiny. So I want to show you, for the same amount of calories that's in this oil, what you can actually eat instead. So here I've put some foods on a plate. I'm going to set down the oil here. So this is about 2 cups, 2.5 cups or so of watermelon. This here is 1/2 cup of white rice and 1/2 cup of beans. Each of these things equal the same amount as this tiny bit of oil. And let's be real, guys, when we used to cook with oil, it would be easy to use a tablespoon of oil in our cooking, maybe 2 tablespoons of oil. It always seems like it's not as much as what it actually is. So we wouldn't usually measure a tablespoon of oil anyways. You're going to be pouring the bottle over your food. So who knows? It could be 1 to 3 tablespoons of oil that you're cooking with. So 120 useless calories are in this oil. And instead of consuming those calories, you can eat them. You can eat them and actually feel full and feel amazing eating food instead of consuming oil. So I just thought that that one was super helpful, just as a visual and a reminder for weight loss, why it's important to cut the oil out of the diet and just replace it with food instead. All right, guys, so the truth here is that there is no one size fits all when it comes to our own personal health and weight loss goals. Today, I've shared with you some things that work for me and my personal opinions on them, but keep in mind, yours are just as valid for you. I feel like as long as you are consuming an oil-free, whole food, plant-based diet, then you really can't go wrong. But nonetheless, it is still worth discussing some foods that might be better for weight loss than others. If it's your first time here, I would love to have you jump on board and follow my own personal health and weight loss journey following a high carb, low fat, plant-based diet, as well as helping you out with yours. Just like today's video, I will be sharing all my tips and tricks that I learn along the way, as long as tons of what I eat in a day videos and my recipe videos. So be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.